Good morning, and welcome to wet Winnipeg. Very wet Winnipeg. Last night around, in the middle of the night anyway, I had to get up and go to the little model maker's room. And while I was there, the lightning was flashing and the thunder was rolling and the power twice went off. Only for about a second. but you could say we had power failures. And we could actually have a power failure right now as we speak, because a few minutes ago the thunder was rolling pretty good. And I definitely will not be doing any bike riding this morning. Even if it was to stop raining now, I don't want to be riding through puddles. Anyway, our friends Dawn and Bridget, earlier this morning, I guess there was a bit of a lull in the rain, they were out. And but we're not going to be having a sunrise over the berm, I can tell you that. I hope they made it back okay, because about 20 minutes after they came over the bridge here, it was pouring. Yeah. Anyway, hope you made it back okay. Now, they probably don't watch this show anyway. Nobody in Winnipeg watches this show. Well, I think there's two people. Okay. What's that old saying that goes something like, a prophet is never honored in his own country, or something like that, or recognized in his own country? Okay. Now, what are we going to be doing here today? I don't know. I'm just going to play it by ear. I think that sounds like a winner. Okay, there's a story behind those two sayings, but I won't go into it and bore you with it. Yeah, let's get ourselves recomposed here, and I was going to work a little bit on the second railing there, and tack it in place. It seems to me I have done something. I can't remember now. I guess I'll know when I lay it down on the cloth, right? Yeah, let's just try and get our thoughts together, and I should really clean this model table up. I mean, there's more stuff even behind there that you can't see, just laying there, that shouldn't be there. Yeah, we will do something today. Oh! A lot of you are probably wondering, how did the phone call go yesterday from the doctor? So some of you already know, but yeah, the doctor phoned late yesterday afternoon and to tell me that the scans were normal. So that's good news. So now he is also scheduled for me to have, or requested for me to have, a CT scan. And I thought I'd already had it. I mean, I've had so many scans in the last couple of years. They're all sort of running together. So anyway, I'm due to have a CT scan, which is supposed to check other things. And then his thinking is that once they know exactly what is going on with me, then they will know how best to treat my situation. But they want to wait until all the investigating is done before they proceed with some sort of whatever, radiation or whatever. I don't know, and they don't know either. So, but I will keep you posted. Now let's try and get ourselves organized here a little bit, and have some fun at the model table. Yeah, it may be raining outside, but it's dry here. Okay, if you will recall, I had accidentally painted our deck here with the NATO black instead of the 77. Well, just moments ago I put on a first coat of 77. I don't know if I'm going to need to put on another coat or not. It has lightened it up, back to what you might call normal. In other words, the very dark gray like everything else is. So, yeah. We're making progress here. At least we're going forward. Well, I guess I took a step backwards there when I painted it the black, but I was debating on whether or not I just, just leave it black and then do everything else, in the darker. Well, I guess that NATO black is more like an extremely dark gray. It's not really black. Anyway, yeah, that's the latest here. It's just drying. You can see it's still wet. Okay, here is the latest. On this piece here, I soldered the end. Like this one, you can't see it. Maybe I'll move things around here. I had soldered this end to the catwalk, but on this piece, I'm not going to solder this end. I'm going to start soldering back here, and my plan is, okay, let's see if I can. You should be able to see the gap there that we've got to close. So I'm hoping that this piece of wood is going to be heavy enough to hold it. Not really, is it? Not really. I was thinking, if I was to have had a... I was originally going to put a pin right in the middle on this side, but I was afraid that I'd end up squashing everything. But I haven't actually tried this yet. Either that or maybe something a little heavier than this piece of wood. This piece of wood slides too easy. I didn't want to, I've got metal stuff that would work, but I didn't want to have the metal absorb the heat so that the solder wouldn't run along the edge there. Now, it could be that this piece of wood is not thick enough here. I'm going to have to maybe find another piece of wood. Yeah, because you can see here that if I was to push right here, we can close the gap. As long as we do it very, very carefully. Okay, I've got a thicker piece of wood here, obviously. Now, if I close the gap very carefully, am I able to take my soldering iron here now and bring it in and get solder off of the tip? I think I can. I wonder if I was to come maybe from this side and just sort of, it's not plugged in right now, and just sort of touch it down there. That might actually work. Yeah, I think coming in from this side is going to work good. Okay, let's try not to bump anything, and we'll get a little bit of flux right there and get ourselves all plugged in, and maybe we'll put on the macro lens. Okay, we have ourselves a thicker piece of wood here. I'm just going to put a little bit of that fluxy stuff right where I want the solder to run. But I'm concerned that, okay, that should be enough. Now I'm concerned that where our solder joint is, it's going to, the heat will travel along there and unsolder that. So I'm going to take the handle from Tony's tweezer here, if I can, and very gently just lay it on there. I don't think it'll hurt anything, as long as I don't bump it or push down on it. Okay, that'll be a heat sink. Now let's get our soldering iron turned on here. Okay, I just want to double check and make sure that our piece of wood is pushing this up securely, and it is. Now, we're at 370 degrees against Celsius. Now, hopefully this is going to work. Now, I do believe that's soldered together. Let's just check it out. No! Okay, I guess I didn't put enough on. Okay, it did that time. Even I can see it. Let's try it now. There we go. All right, I'm going to just move out here now. You can't see it, so I'm going to have to recompose. Well, that wasn't very gentle, was it? May as well just use my fingers. Okay, now the next place that would be a good place to do it would be probably right here. And then we'll worry about this one afterwards. So now in this case, I don't want this particular solder joint to come loose by itself when it's not supposed to. So if we come in like this, just a little bit here. Okay, like that, and then maybe I'm gonna have to put Tony's tweezer in from a different angle here and just lay it right on that old solder joint, and we're gonna want to put a new one right there. Okay, let's move back in again. Did I get any on there? Maybe I should re-tin the tip here just a little bit. Just bear with me. Got it for sure that time. Okay, are we gonna stick? Oh yeah. Okay, let's move out to this other place here. Well, as long as I forgot to push stop, we may as well just do it live here, right? Okay. Get ourselves positioned. And can we push that in and still get in there? I would think so. Let's give it a whirl here. Oh, you know what? I don't think the rail is... Maybe... Okay, now it's in the right place. Alright, now we're going to put our... Maybe I went too far. I think that's okay. I'll put our heat sink on. No, I know we definitely don't need that much. We just need a little bit of that. Let's get some of that off of there. Still way too much. Just have to be careful not to gob it on too much. No, I unplugged my soldering iron, so what's happening here? It's not sort of a cold weld here. What's going on there? Let's get some of that off of the tip. See if we can... Maybe if I drag it down like this. Oh, this one's not going very good, is it? Well, there, that looks okay. See if it's going to hold. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's carefully get Tony's tweezer off of there. Sorry about my fingers. Okay, now move everything down. I'm just going to I'm going to just keep on going until I get to the end, and then we'll look at it. Okay, here is the rail that we attached yesterday. And here is the one that we just did this morning. Now I am noticing that we are going to have to bend these end pieces in. One of them is already bent in a little bit, and the other one we will do. I'm going to probably do it off camera, so that way that there'd be less chance of bending it out of shape. Then I would think that, well, maybe let me get it better positioned here. You know, it could be that we are not going to need to solder that. We'll just bend it in, maybe touch it with a little tiny bit of CA glue. That might be good enough. And then once the whole thing is painted, I'm really anxious to see how this is going to fit on the funnel part now. So I go from saying I'm not going to do it on camera to hooking up 2 cameras. Okay. If you will notice, and when I look in the monitor, I can see that there is a folding line on the top rail, and in all likelihood there was one on the bottom rail. It may have become plugged up with solder now, but I think that, let me move this out of the way. Just check there, everything's still more or less where I want it. Now if I can hold this down, I'm trying to hold it down without a steady rest, so I'm going to just do it like this, very gently like that. Yeah, that should work. Just hold it down like that, and then put on the other eyes. I can maybe see better what I'm doing here. Yeah, that'll work. Now just come in here and pull this over. It's gonna bend. Maybe I got the bevel the wrong way. Does it look like it's bending? Yeah, it does. Okay, I think that's basically closed. Now if I push the other one into place, now the other one is already bent at a 45-degree angle, as you can see. It's not going to take a whole lot to bend it the rest of the way. And just gently hold it down here now. Very gently. Alright, now I think if we put a little bit of CA glue right on the bottom there, just where, that'll just help. At least that's my uneducated guess. Alright, let's do that. Let's recompose and get it. I think CA thin would probably be okay. Okay, a little bit of time has passed here now. Actually, quite a bit of time has passed here now. The sun has come out. And we're going to make a little bit of room. And it seems to me at the end of the last episode I said the bike lock came. this is the bracket that you mount somewhere on your bike if you want. And then I guess the idea is that this is supposed to go in like that. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, kind of. Oh, I see, there's a locking button there. You push the button and it locks into place. I don't know if I'm actually going to be using this or not. I might, we'll see. Anyway, the main thing is, okay, the key goes in there, yeah. All right, let's just try it here. I think we're probably safe to use my expensive Tamiya nippers on this plastic here. It shouldn't hurt. All right. Now, oh yeah, that's going to be a lot better. Okay, that's pretty foolproof. It looks like it basically coils itself up, so that's all right. I just need to have something just go through the, through the spokes and around the frame, just so that somebody can't wheel it off. And what I want this to do is so that when I take the bike out in the morning and have my morning ride, I can leave it outside at the front door, and anybody walking through the yard is going to have a hard time riding off with it. At least that's my thinking on this right now. Guess this goes back like this, and yeah. Okay, so now you've seen it. I'm happy with this one. Now, mind you, this one was twice as much money as the other one. Okay. All right. Now, once again, this is the first time I'm doing this, so I think the easiest way would be to just let it fall onto the funnel from the top. I don't want to accidentally spring anything open the wrong way. And I think that's all the way down. Oh, it fits like a glove. Pretty sure it's all the way down. At least, yeah, it's all the way down. Well, that looks pretty good. Now, isn't it too bad I couldn't have done that on the front one? Yeah, it was a lot of messing around, but I think that's really good. Thank you, Dennis. However, while I'm thinking about it, not to sound ungrateful or anything, but please don't anybody else send me any more detailed photo etch. I was watching UK Jason this morning, and he was doing a review. I think it's on an MK1 kit that goes on a 1/200 scale Trumpeter ship. I believe it was the one that looks like the Bismarck, but it's the Steinhorst or some name like that I can't pronounce right. Anyway, he did a very detailed review on this kit, and I watched a lot of it. But I commented to Jason, and I said something to the effect that years ago I would have really enjoyed doing something like that, but I'm just finding it too difficult now. And anyway, so maybe I better shut up here before I make enemies. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're gonna see you tomorrow.